Yes, this video is going to be addressed to all of the Houston Rockets fans who have been clamoring for Stephen Silas to be fired early into the season. 1-14, I understand. It's been a tough couple of games. Okay, 13 straight losses. Look, they're playing the Knicks tonight, and they'll probably lose that game too. It's a road game. It's gonna be tough to beat them at MSG. Obviously, the Knicks have been struggling, but again, when you look at the Houston Rockets team and the roster they have around built up, you don't expect to win many games with this roster, and that's why I'm really quite saddened by a lot of the responses from fans, because you had to have known this was coming, right? You have to have seen with the roster that they have, with the amount of young players that they've picked up over the last season, you have to have understood that this was coming, because this team is not built to win games. And really, Silas here is doing his best. He's doing his very best, and he has not been given a fair shot at coaching this team yet. He came into this team when Harden and Westbrook were the main guys, and then Westbrook got traded for John Wall, and so Harden and Wall were not the main guys. Christian Wood, he was playing much better last season, and then PJ Tucker was still on the team. He ended up getting traded to Milwaukee, and then you have James Harden getting traded to the Nets. He had so many ups and downs. Oladipo played a couple games for you, but he ended up leaving as well. Just a whole cluster mess of a situation where Silas never really had a team to coach. I mean, that team last season had the record for most players played during a season. They had 30 players play at least one game for them, and that just shows you how much of a difficult situation Silas has been put in. And now he's the easy scapegoat to go to because the team's losing, and oh, you didn't play Sengun enough minutes. I understand that 5 minutes wasn't really something you wanted to see, especially when you have Sengun playing good defense. Even though he's a rookie, he's been looking much better than a lot of these veteran players. I know Tice should be playing better than he is right now. Christian Wood has been struggling as of late. But you also cannot dismiss the fact that you need to give the coach time. You need to give the coach time to learn the lineups, to figure out what works. Honestly, you're trying to win games at the end of the day. You know, people can say, oh, we're going to lose anyway, so might as well develop the players. Well, that's not going to get you far in this league, right? You need to win games. You need to get your team winning games. Losing sucks, okay? And if you think this team will be different just because they play their young guys, I mean, you're just completely missing the point. Stephen Silas has gone through so much adversity throughout his 20 plus years in the NBA. He's been an assistant coach under his dad when he was the head coach in Charlotte, when he was the head coach in Cleveland, when LeBron James was there during his rookie year. He was doing scouting, he was doing preparation for the games, he was doing things with the rookie to where, he got to understand how smart, how great, some of these rookies were. He was able to be in that Don Nelson coaching staff when Curry was a rookie and he was coming into his rookie year. He was working with him very closely. Curry came into his house. That two-hand dribbling routine Curry loves to do before games, that got started with Stephen Silas helping him out with that. It's something that this guy has been through the trenches. He was in that Bobcats team that only won 7 games. I mean, he's been through thick and thin. He's been through a lot of devastating games. Oh, and how can I forget the Bobby Phil's tragic death? Oh my goodness, he was one of the leaders of the team, and he was the assistant. His dad was a coach, and that was one of the first big hits, early in his career, where somebody very present in the locker room, passed away in a car accident, and it was hard. That was something that they had to go through, for the rest of the season without him, and it was tough. And I'm telling you, a coach that is fairly young relative to a lot of coaches, but he has still over 20 years of experience in the NBA. He knows his stuff. He's been through thick and thin. You're blessed to have a coach that can relate so much to players, even though he's never played a lick of NBA basketball in his life. You can say that he's had an easier road because his dad was in the NBA and his dad was the head coach, and he asked him, oh, come here, come to Charlotte, we'll help you out. He was a ball boy with the Knicks before his dad ever called him up, okay? It's not like he didn't go through any hurdles himself, okay? He went through some stuff. But my main point in saying this is that Stephen Silas himself, okay, he needs to be given more time. Okay, I jokingly put in the thumbnail 2 more years. But yeah, why not? He hasn't even been given a full season to where his team has been acclimated to the game. Constant changes to the roster, constant movement. You expect the coach to be able to win games when that many movement, with that much changes happening in the team? I mean, come on. You go from a team potentially making it to the top 4 seed to a team now looking to get the first pick in the draft. I mean, come on. Think about it. That's such a difficult transition to go through, and Stephen Silas did not come into this team thinking that he was going to be a lottery team. He had Harden, he had Westbrook, and then he had Wall coming into the season. You really think he was thinking that they were going to be a lottery team during that time? Come on. You have to give him more chances. You have to give him more time to develop, and you really have to be patient if you're a Rockets fan, because your team, I mean, look at what the front office is doing. Look at what they're doing right now, trying to get John Wall traded when they should be giving him minutes. I mean, what the hell is that? You're talking about they should play their young guys. I mean, the problem is, to me, one of the biggest problems the Houston Rockets have is they don't have a legit point guard that can actually give this team offense that can really, pay dividends for them in half court. Why isn't John Wall playing minutes? You're paying him damn near $40 million. Actually, I think you're paying him over $40 mil. Yep. Over $45 million each year. You might as well play him. I don't know what you're doing right now, Houston. You would be winning more games if he were to be playing right now. Okay, obviously, Jalen Green, you're trying to get him touches. Obviously, Kevin Porter Jr., the future, you want him to be the starting point guard. I honestly don't know if that's going to work out for you guys. I think Kevin Porter Jr. is better off playing a different position. I think John Wall should be playing the point guard position. I don't know what you're thinking. I mean, Jalen Green looks good at the point guard position too. I mean, look, he's a shooting guard by nature, but I'm not really loving Kevin Porter Jr. that much. I just think he's got a lot of problems to sort out first before he can be a starting point guard for a team. Look, John Wall, why is he not playing? Where is he at? Okay, you want to trade him, but how about you get his stock value to go high by playing him more minutes? I don't understand what you're thinking. You think his stock value is going to get lower by him playing more minutes? I mean, come on. He's going to be the best player in that team. And he's going to get players like Christian Wood going with his great ability to get guys open. I mean, when he drives at that speed, he gets guys closing in on him. And it just complements very perfectly with the 5-out offense that Houston loves to play. Basically, give the coach more time. And honestly, be patient, because it's going to take a while for you guys to get back on track. And Chet Holmgren looks good for you guys.